I'm short. Thank you, Lynn. Home. The word is so laden with weight, so pregnant with expectation. Think back to freshman year graduates, suddenly uprooted from our homes and shoved into the slightly filthy arms of Buckley. I came from a home in the epitome of suburbia, a town with freshly cut, manicured lawns, and probably more than its share of dysfunction, tightly repressed, of course. As most freshmen, I lived in a dorm. It was a triple room that had originally been a small room for one person. One of my roommates was fantastic. The other was hygienically challenged. I won't go into the lurid details, but when she visited my house over Thanksgiving, she only took a shower on Thursday morning. When she left 4 days later, she still had not taken another shower. After going to the beach, and an amusement park, and swimming in the pool. But don't worry, she's not here. She's safely back in England, and I still like her nonetheless. But my home in the dorm was also staying up until the wee hours of the night, talking about everything and anything with my hallmates. It was a home in which I could brush my teeth with having a conversation with someone taking a shower and with someone using the urinal. Home is coming back from an evening out and finding a couple inebriated floor mates repeatedly slamming their heads against the bathroom doors until they passed out. And it also meant perpetual indigestion from our wonderful dorm food. Now fast forward to sophomore year. My roomies and I moved into a charming old Victorian-style apartment in North Oakland, right on the border of Berkeley and Oakland. You guys have probably seen it a lot. It's right across the street from one of the few 24-hour food establishments, the venerable Jack in the Box. You know, the one with the large gaping bullet hole in the window. It was soon replaced, though, with some thick 4-inch plexiglass, bulletproof this time. It was quite an experience living there. Our apartment was in a very interesting location. Across the street next to the Jack in the Box were a feminist bookstore and a tattoo parlor, which as far as we knew was called Tattoos. On the other side of the street, on the corner, was the neighborhood fixture and the well-known hotspot, the White Horse Inn. A little closer to us was a large outdoor antique store, or as we called it, junkyard. And we were also right next door to a communist library. In fact, my bedroom window faced their window. Ideal for some spying. But I just discovered that they really didn't do anything interesting except for hold meetings at 3 a.m., which meant that my room was suddenly flooded with light, and I would cringe, trying unsuccessfully to shield my eyes. Yeah, I cursed them at those moments. Our apartment was also right next door to an apartment building which had a colorful cast of characters. Actors 1 and 2, our fun-loving, easygoing drug dealers. Actor 3, our neighbor Rasta, both name and religious affiliation. We had long conversations with the three of them, talking through our window as they hung out on their balconies, laughing, joking. And Rasta would sometimes leave the door open to his apartment, and we would sneak in like little glances from our window. It was pretty impressive. No discernible bed or furniture, but 5 bongs on the floor. It was quite interesting. And this was also the man who blasted reggae music 3 to 4 hours a night, every night for a year. So I don't care what music you like or don't like, but once you hear that much of one type of music, you'll begin to develop violent fantasies of ripping out his stereo and laughing maniacally, but you know, I digress. Anyways, aside from some minor tempura fires, life was really great there. And the next year we left in search of new adventure and moved only a few blocks away to an apartment in a community-style home. It was conveniently located just a couple blocks away from the Starry Plow and the Smokehouse. And it was really fun to live directly across from the Chakmat Halev, where we would hear great singing during their services. Our home was a wonderful place with a huge kitchen where my roomies and I would make grandiose meals and where we'd congregate, and then afterwards we would go sprawl on the couches like beached whales and descend into food coma. Our back door, which was always unlocked, led to the rest of the house, so our roommates could just pop by and eat dinner with us. This was a home where we discovered bed bugs in my roommate's futon, and then evacuated an entire room to deal with the problem. Here was the place where an entire band spent a week living with us, mostly raiding our fridge. It was such a weird home, too, because when you opened the back door of the apartment, it led up right into the hallway and closet area of our neighbors. And then straight ahead were some stairs that led up to the attic room. And right in front of us were some stairs that led down into the basement where our landlord lived. And it was so low down there that I could go down there and pretend I was kind of like in a movie, Shaft music running through my head, flailing my arms against the ceiling, smirk on my face, strutting my step. It was kind of fun. Another home that I've had is the lab, where I've spent quite a bit of time here on campus for the last couple of years. Besides doing the research, I spent many hours there, running back and forth to the greenhouse, Mary Sung Fu and I poking fun at John, laughing with my wonderful mentor Bob, and poking fun at Daphne as she slept under her desk. It wasn't just a place where I did research, but also a home, away from home, away from home. I'll miss you guys. I've had other homes too, one in Costa Rica where I studied abroad, my room in the iHouse where I lived for a summer, and an apartment where I lived for a semester with my sister and our friends. I wanted to talk about our homes today because I think they're an enormous part of the college experience. I didn't want to speak about apartments or houses or dorms because those are just places where you sleep and eat your cereal. A home is where you have people you love, where you can share a meal with your roommates. It's a place where you can be ridiculous, as we often were, where you can laugh a lot and maybe cry a little too. And a home is also a place where people know you. Maybe your neighbors aren't your best friends, but at least they'll wave hello or have a beer with you. And I know in that first apartment, the drug dealers would have been at our side in a second if we had ever been in any trouble. And in the second apartment, there was something vaguely comforting about falling asleep to the incessant chatter of our neighbor, Marcus, who was homeless and lived across the street and talked all night long. But when we were playing Frisbee in the street and our Frisbee got stuck in the gutter, guess who helped us out? And our homes are also a true mirror of where we are and how far we've come. From that fresh-faced, anything-goes freshman year dorm, to the crazy sophomore year apartment, to that fun junior year apartment, which was infused with a bit of seriousness as we discovered what it is we love or whom. And now, as seniors, minutes away from being grads, our homes are different. Now our home is that of 20-somethings. And even though we might still have those chairs of death or that hideous couch, we won't be at that home on Saturday night because we got carded at the bar, and that's great. I know that all of you have your own stories about the places you've lived, your apartment or your co-op or your frat or sorority house. Not just places you've lived though, but your homes. I hope that Berkeley has been a good home to you. I hope that you're happy and that you enjoy your lives, whatever it is that you end up doing. And hey, if you don't know, that's okay, because I don't know either. And whether you settle in California or in India, I hope that when you come home, you truly are home. Mom and Dad, Nora and Mark, I love you so much and thank you. You will always be my home. To my friends who came here today, thank you. It means a lot. And Claire and Abby, Vic and Karina, you were my home these last 4 years. To my fellow graduates, I'm very, very honored to be in your company today. Congratulations.